Hello, guys, and welcome back to another Coach's Corner. I am Coach Kiki. I am joined with my co-host,
Coach Kimmy B.
and we have a great discussion ahead of us tonight with some amazing women. We had to bring back a part two of the purpose blockers,
Mm,
people, persons,
Yes.
and things.
mm,
So we had a group of women in mind that we thought about and said, you know what, that would be amazing for part two. So here
Yeah.
they are, and we're gonna give them a chance to tell you guys who they are. So whoever want to start, tell the people who you are, and thank you for coming to be a part of Coach's Corner today.
Yes. Risco.
Ariska's eight. Her name's
Wait,
Arista.
wow. Listen, wow, always gotta go first. But okay, okay.
Yes.
All right. Hey, beautiful souls. It's your girl, Coach Ariska. Coach Risk, your selfish coach. And I am the owner, founder, CEO of A Bountiful Solution, a personal development organization where I help women disrupt self-sabotaging behaviors and build confidence, consistency, and clarity so they can walk in their God-given purpose. That is who I
Mm.
am, and that is what I do.
Hey,
Amen. Yeah.
all right.
All right. Joy, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought we was gonna go top down. Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Coach Joy Harris. I'm the owner and operator and CEO of Joyful Connections Life Coaching, where I am a retired stylist after 33 years, and I am coaching beyond the chair, helping beauty professionals level up behind their chair, work through burnout, and also include new pathways into their income pathways into their business to help them think beyond the chair. When they're done from retiring, they have something that they're working towards. So I help them through all kind of emotional well-being things and just trying to help them maximize themselves, and also to not to forget themselves behind the chair while they're
Mhm.
pouring all the other beauties that they serve.
Absolutely. Thank you. Serena.
Hey, everybody. Hope all's well. My name is Serena Wills. I am a national board certified health and wellness coach. I am the founder and owner of Divine Right Wellness, and right is spelled Wryte. I'm also a wellness instructor as well. I help a gambit of mainly women, got a sprinkling of men, mainly Gen Xers, but we get some Gen Zs with life transitions, self-care, mindful eating, stress reduction, which is a huge one these days, and grief, transitioning and learning how to get through grief. So that is who I am as a coach. And feel free to check me out and follow me.
All right. Thank you. Latoya.
Yes. I am Grynd. I am Coach Grynd. I'm the energy coach. That's spelled inner G. I help individuals tap into their inner goals, their inner goodness, their inner graciousness, their inner God, and their inner boundaries and their inner guidance. You feel me? I like to call myself like a little healing homie. I like to hand walk you through yourself, your trials, your tribulations, your trauma, your drama, the BS we get from our daddy and our mama, and I rhyme along the way. So follow me. I love to spread light. I'm honored to be on board with you ladies today.
Yes. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
ladies.
Listen.
This is gonna be a great episode.
Yeah.
We really just wanted to get the our series in a space where just opening it up to different perspectives.
Mm.
So I thank you guys for being on with us. And turn it back over to Kiki.
All right, thank you. Great job, great job, great job. I'm trying to get her to do more, y'all. So y'all, so we are talking about purpose blockers. So
Mm.
I'll ask each one of you guys, when it comes to purpose blockers, what does that mean for you? Like when you hear the term purpose blockers, what is the first thing that comes to mind for you? And we'll start with Serena.
For some reason, I thought of Jill Scott's song "You Getting in the Way" so of what I'm feeling.
Mm.
That's what I feel a purpose blocker is. You are truly getting in the way of what I'm here designed to do, destined to do. And some either don't know their purpose,
Hmm.
or they do, but they feel like, oh, I don't want her getting ahead of me, or they feel intimidated or jealous. So they will purposely block you, or they just want to keep you in the box that they had you in all this time. But for me, purpose blockers are folks who are just getting in the way.
I love that. Coach Rick?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mhm.
Um, Purpose blockers is anything that stops you, hinders you, blocks you from your God-given purpose.
All right.
There you go.
Coach Grind?
Mhm.
Mhm. I agree. I agree with everything the lady said. I feel like um, an example of a purpose blocker can be like fear of being seen. That could be a purpose
Mm,
blocker. I'm pretty sure all of us have dealt with that a little teeny bit, you know what I'm saying? Even
Mm-hmm.
though we're being seen now, but just the fear of being seen, or even like unhealed trauma or the subconscious things that we
mm-hmm,
just get from our parents. Like, I'm just being shy, just play in the back. Don't be too loud when you walk in there, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Don't have everybody looking at you. Those type of things, they might have meant well, but they become purpose blockers. That's all, they get in the way of our purpose. We focusing on that. And so
yep.
yeah.
All right, Coach Joy?
Purpose blocker for me is when someone pigeonholes you into the old version of yourself that they know you as.
Mm,
That's
mm,
been my personal
mm,
story. Where they get used to the version of you that they meet you in a season when you're going through things, and they get comfortable with you being in the box that they created for you. When you come out of that box, like what's happening with me, they have a trouble and they have a problem with that version of you because it doesn't
mm-hmm,
go along with what the narrative that they've created for you. They felt more comfortable when you are in that state of mind, when you feel broken, when you're not thriving, like I was not doing. And when they
mm,
see me elevating and I packed up and moved my life out of town, is a problem for people because they underestimate, purpose blockers underestimate your greatness.
Come on.
Oh,
A lot of
mm,
come
That's
on.
good.
Yeah,
That's
they
Yes.
good.
they underestimate it.
Yes.
A lot of times,
Mm.
the reason why they underestimate it because when they met us, we were underestimating it ourselves. But once we discovered and we start working through the muck and the mire that's in our life, and we start really seeing who we really are, what we're really working with, and when you start moving through that, it becomes a problem for folks. They tell you they think you're acting funny or you're acting different. Well, I am acting different because I'm not
mm-hmm,
acting like the version of me
mm-hmm,
that you met or the person that you saw, the season that you caught me in. So
Right.
those are purpose blockers, and
mm,
also be our own purpose blockers by underestimating our own powers and gifts and not understanding how to work with it or feeling scared of it or that, self-sabotage with Coach Ariska is always talking to us about.
Yep.
And
mm-hmm.
so you can be
Absolutely.
your own purpose blocker as well. And sorry that was so long,
Mm-hmm.
but that's what I had to give you.
Mm-mm.
That
Yes,
was
Yes,
you
you
got
good,
did.
some
Yeah,
Yes,
Joy.
you
no,
That
that
was
did.
was
yes.
real
good.
good.
Let the church
And
say
you
amen.
said
Okay.
you said that the it's not just that they could see the greatness in you.
Yes.
They
Yes.
see the greatness in you and they
Mm-hmm.
want to stop you by all
Mm-hmm.
means necessary from getting
Mm-hmm.
to that level. So they keep
Right.
you. They have a plan to keep you stuck and
Yep.
Right.
stagnant in that past
Yep.
and that lifestyle that you've been in all of these
Mm-hmm.
years. So they
Really,
see the greatness and they don't want to see you succeed. So they're gonna of course they're gonna block
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the
So I
other
want
part
to
of
ask this
that
question.
too,
Go ahead.
exactly
the other
right.
part of that too is not only do they not want you to succeed, but they don't want you to get above them.
Mm.
Exactly.
you.
Mm.
Right? They want you to be, stay below them. As long as you're below them and
Yeah.
they're ahead of you, they're
Mm.
they're fine with that. But as soon as you get to the point where they think that you're a little bit higher than them, that's when they start to want to pull you back. So
Mm.
that's my version of purpose blockers.
Absolutely. So I want to
Mm-hmm.
ask you guys this question. Have you ever experienced purpose blocker?
Hmm.
Yep.
I have.
Yeah,
I
let's
definitely
talk. Let's
have.
talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
So for me, I don't know how many of y'all know my story, but when I got into the altercation with the young lady who I was living with,
Mm.
prior to that altercation, um she was like, "Oh, everybody thinks you're changing and you're changing and everything was you're changing, you're changing." And I'm like, "But we're getting older, aren't we supposed to change?"
Yeah.
Mhm.
We're supposed to grow and
So
evolve.
with
Mm-hmm.
that, like, and I had just got engaged, and then she had a baby, and I'm like, "But you just had a baby. What's the problem?"
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason that you should be saying, "Oh, we changed." You changed you because you became a mother. So I'm just growing in my own lane. That's all that it is. But
Mm,
again, as long as you're not going ahead of them,
mm, mm-hmm.
they not gonna try to pull you back because they think that, okay, I still got one up on her. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what it was
Mm,
in that particular, what I realized later on, because the conversations that I've had with my mother and the relationship that I had with my mother, she didn't have that with her mother. And then the
gotcha.
relationship that I had with my fiance, she didn't have that with her baby father.
Mm,
And this is a
gotcha.
man who was her high school sweetheart,
Mm,
that they had broke up and got back together, broke up, got back together, and then now in that getting back together space, they end up having a baby. And
mm,
he was like, he didn't want to be in that space. He
wow.
didn't want to be with
Mm,
her in that
Mm,
way. So all of these things, it was like, oh, why am I always getting pulled back? Because you always thinking about other people, like trying to get ahead of other people. Just
yeah.
be you.
Yeah.
Mm,
So that's my experience.
Mhm.
I know it's
mm.
kind of long.
Oh, that's
my
okay.
my my experience has always been me blocking myself.
Mm,
Ask
Mm,
that
Me
question.
wow.
me
Mm,
running
yeah.
away from the calling God had on my life. Me
Mm-hmm.
not accepting the fact that it's
mm,
okay to be by yourself. I've always, since young, I've always
mm,
been in a relationship and attached to somebody. And it wasn't until I was 38 years old that I lived on my own, and it was just me and my kids. It was no longer Ariska and so and so. It was
yeah.
just Ariska and these babies. And now you gotta figure it out. So I had carried that for so long and just ran away from it until I had to face it. Like,
Wow.
you either gonna shit or get off the pot. Like, you gotta do
There you
what you need
go.
to do. You can't keep running because you're gonna keep being in this same cycle and it's not getting you nowhere. So I was my
Right.
own purpose blocker. I was running away from the assignment God had on my life. I was running away from my life, period. I was abandoning me and I didn't even
Wow.
realize it.
Yeah, I
And
love that.
Mm,
and that's good because in dealing with certain situations, I now in return did the same thing, and keeping myself back because trying not to be too much of, or too higher than my friends, or doing too much than my friends, so that
mm,
they didn't
mm,
feel like I was better than them.
Well, I'm glad you
Mm,
got rid of them
So,
friends because I think anybody in your life, people, places, are things that causes you to shrink instead
mm-hmm.
of grow.
mhm,
Yep.
You need to abandon those people, places,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
things because
mm-hmm.
God put us here to evolve and grow and have dominion over everything. So being mediocre is just not who we're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Shrinking myself or or leaning back or whatever to let somebody else shine, yeah, it's times and places for doing that, but if you always found yourself being the person to do that for everybody else, it's time to change the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
So I want to ask this question to Coach Grind.
Mhm.
Have you ever been a blocker in someone else's life,
Oh.
and
Mm.
what did you learn from that?
mm.
Mm.
In the live, y'all, in the
Mm.
lives. Like that is amazing. Yeah, we finna get deep. Let's get deep. Let's get deep.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say yes. I'm
Yeah.
going to say that I once served a purpose blocker for my daughter for a lack
Mm.
of knowledge of people purge, okay? But for also from being in like that overprotective mom mode, or just
Yeah.
so much so wanting to be the mom that I never had. And you have to have balance and boundaries and still with that.
Mm-hmm.
So suicide is a gene, I will say, from my mom to me, to was almost my daughter, you know? So
Wow.
I felt like my daughter was a reflection of the things that I was always scared to say that my mom actually dealt with. you know, and suffered with and really dealt with that thought process. And so when I was born, I struggled with that thought. I would have that thought every day, and I had a beautiful life. I've never got a spanking. I graduated performing arts. I've always been an entertainer. I've had an amazing life. I got married a virgin. But I would still have that thought every single day. And I once going to yoga school, I realized that my yoga teacher taught me that our subconscious mind is created before the rest of our body in the womb, right? But our subconscious mind is made up the ingredients of off of what our mama dealing with at that time. You know what I'm saying? So my mama hid her pregnancy. She was 16. Nobody knew she was pregnant. She was the goody goody out of her 9 siblings. So she hid her pregnancy. She wanted to just kill herself. And that was her plan to just take us out. She wrote a letter. She had all the pills in the house. She actually wrote a whole letter to the family, and she was going to kill, well, she was going to take us out. I was supposed to be born on November 16th. My birthday is September 20th, the day that she was going to roll out, but her water broke. And here I am. I spent the first 100 days of my life with no human touch in an incubator. And just me breaking all of that down allowed me to realize that's why I would hear that thought. Even though I'm having a great day, I just performed the show of my life. Why am I hearing that thought? And it's not my thought, but that thought, because I didn't deal with that thought that my mommy never dealt with, my daughter automatically had that thought. And she had a better life than I did. You know what I'm saying? So her being us having open communication enough, she was able to at least express that to me at the age of 11. She's 18 now, about to graduate high school. So we was able to deal with that then. But yeah, I was definitely blocking that purpose because of hereditary things.
That's deep.
Wow.
And people don't
That
understand that it can be hereditary. For real.
that's really deep. And we don't honestly, we don't think back that far, that we are carrying things that our mothers had carried while we were in utero. We don't think about that stuff that transpires while we're in utero. That's never a thought that crosses our mind, but it's real. When you think about it, when we're born, we're still carrying our mother's immune system until we build our own. So of course, we carrying everything that they experience through pregnancy.
Come
Yeah,
on.
absolutely.
Yep, that's
Now I
so
want to ask
good.
Coach Joy this question right here because I think that she is good at that. She displays it in her platform and her brand.
Mm-hmm.
How do you set boundaries without feeling guilty, especially when it's someone you love who has been that purpose blocker for you?
Mm.
Hey,
Mm.
I could care less. I have gotten to a point at age 58. Like I said, for previous years before I've turned 50, I was living my life for other people and well, not living for other people, I was still living in the image of that they had of me and they thought I should be. And I was still trying to figure out how I want to show up myself. Even though I showed up with the and all that, I still had old things that was passed on to me. I always had body image, body dysmorphia, the way I viewed myself. And I was very hard on myself, the things and negative, the self-talk that I would say about myself, like picking up myself apart. I was always positive, but I always picked myself apart. I was harder on myself than I was other people. And then there was a switch. I just started looking. It's like God removed the scales from my eyes for me to see who I really was. And I realized my purpose supersedes anything the outer looked like to me or anyone else. It was what I knew I was carrying internally. I love who I am inside because I worked on that so much. I went really deep on the inside because of how I wasn't embracing my outside. So I turned that focus internally. I wanted to be a beautiful person. I wanted to be a person that people love to see coming. And I worked on that. So it's like I didn't allow people I got out of that. I just started not caring I started falling deeply in love with myself the way God loves me. And once you
That's
start
it right
loving
there.
yourself like that, if just like you love your children, you're not gonna let no one hurt your child. Well, you be like a mama bear, very protective. So I turned that mama bear love that I have for my son, and I turned it into internally to me. And so I
Yes.
protect myself fiercely. I don't care who gets upset about my decisions, or if I don't want to come to Easter dinner, or if I don't want to do whatever. Y'all just gonna have your attitude because spending time with me and that love to myself that I desire so much from other people is more important than anyone having an attitude about me saying no or anything. I could care less. So I really don't. It's almost scary how much I don't care about what other people think and feel about me because it's more about what I feel about myself. and how God already let me know what he feels about me. So I got to embody that same and mirror the same way that he feels about me. I got to feel that same way about myself. So that's been my journey to this point. And I love it because it's getting stronger every day, that the, how I feel about myself deeply. And it's not arrogance, it's just a deep self love and self
Yeah.
awareness
Right.
Yeah.
of
I
just
think I think it's important to have that boundary of self-love, and
Mm-hmm.
it
have
should
to.
not
Mm-hmm.
waver. When you love yourself to the point of I need to make sure that I'm okay,
Yep.
then
Yeah.
everybody
Oh,
starts to see that and they fall
Yeah.
in
yeah,
line or they fall off.
Yep.
that's what's
Right.
happening.
That part.
That's
Yeah.
that right. They're seeing something different, seeing this. That's exactly, you put it. I didn't know how to put it. That's exactly it. They're falling away, the ones who can't handle that
Mm-hmm.
about.
Hmm.
But the other people, they're more attracted to it and they want to know, how did you get this? So they're asking questions. But it's been a lot
Right.
of people, best friends, just trying to doing some weird things out of nowhere, just falling away.
Mm.
And that's good
Mm-hmm.
because they only can go a certain stint of your journey. And God's been sending me new people like all of y'all. I'm more
Oh.
closer with y'all here than the people I have in my actual life that I thought was going to be a forever journey, that they're not there.
Mm.
So,
Yep.
and
Mm.
that's what it is. And it's okay.
It is.
I
It is
concur with you
okay.
on that.
It is okay, and I love that, and thank you for sharing. So we're gonna move around to the places because we've talked about people, and we could talk about people being purpose blockers this
All
whole
day.
episode, but we want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about places and things. And Serena, I want to ask you this question: what do you believe is more dangerous, staying in the wrong place too long or leaving too soon?
Staying in
Ooh.
the wrong place too long. And I had a job where I knew I was staying there too long. And when God said, "All right, I'm cutting the cord, we're going to let you go," I felt the greatest relief. I was there for 6 years. They did not believe in what I was doing. I didn't even tell them I was in graduate school to become a health and wellness coach. It was all secretive. I was battling Lyme disease head on while I was there. And as soon as my FMLA ceased because I was better, 2 months later, they let me go. And as soon as they let me go, my other hat is I'm an author and a writer. That was February 2017. I released book two, that's September. And then book three, 2019. And then so on and so forth. I opened up my health and wellness coaching practice in 2018, but I stayed too long. Even for my own healing with Lyme disease, I started feeling better not being there, but I was scared to leave because as a mother, I'm thinking of me and my son. We have health benefits here. I got PTO. I'm thinking all the things like practical things, but I
Mm-hmm.
was sacrificing
Yeah.
myself, my health.
Yeah.
Even my son, he was only 5 when I got let go. And I remember a month later, he said, "Mommy, you're smiling more. You're
Oh,
happier."
Mm,
And I was like, even
sweet.
he feels and sees it. So
Mm.
there is such a thing as staying somewhere too long. It could be a relationship. That happened to me as well, and had to cut the cord on that last year. Boy, bye. And
That's
I,
right.
I just, because he was going to just keep holding me back. And I said, no more. I can't do this. So,
Mm-hmm.
yep, there is such a thing. And I've seen friends and family where they've been places too long and you see they're either isolating themselves, you don't see them much anymore, you don't see them going after their purpose or their passion anymore.
Right.
They shrunk themselves
right,
to stay where they are.
Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we have to listen. We have to listen to our bodies. We have to listen to our
Mm-hmm.
intuition and that
Yes.
Yes.
discernment. And this all works
Yes.
together. We
Yep.
just sometimes refer to it as different things. And
Yeah.
so I want to ask Coach Riss, how do you know when a place is no longer serving you, your growth versus just being uncomfortable?
Mm.
You
Mm-hmm.
feel it, like you, it's discernment. I'm gonna go back. My mom, yeah, I grew up in a household of domestic violence.
Mm.
My mom married my stepdad. I think I was 8 years old.
Mm.
She didn't leave him till I was a senior in high school. And to watch the transitions of the things that transpired from them sleeping together. My mama slept on the sofa for
Wow.
years,
Mm.
years before we moved out of. She filed for divorce and we moved. Um,
Mm.
and it had to be uncomfortable. It had to be
Mm.
bad on her back, but that was a sacrifice that she was making for one, I guess, to save money. I don't know the entire backstory, but sometimes as women, especially women of color, we don't
Mm.
save money for in case some stuff happen. Now
Mm-hmm.
we're learning to put some money on the side. We allow our husbands to control everything, but
Yeah.
we don't
Mm-hmm.
have anything to fall back on. So, and I'm assuming she had to save up money just to move, but to put yourself in, she knew she had to go. She knew it was time to go, but did she have the finances or the resources to actually move? So
Yeah.
sometimes you
Right.
just have to deal with what you have to deal with and sacrifice things until you're able to go from point A to point B. And once you
Mm.
get
Right.
to point B, is greater. So it just depends on the circumstances and the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, and so I want to ask my co-host this question. Have you ever had to outgrow a place that once felt like home because you felt like it was blocking your purpose?
Mm.
Kiki, you coming with these questions.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. My God, today.
okay.
Woo.
Y'all know I ain't gonna
Um,
be easy with the questions.
Ooh.
You
Ooh.
better go.
so I will say this. Um, I had to be okay with leaving my childhood home.
Mm.
I moved out 3 times and had to come back all 3 times to that childhood home. And me and mommy finally had to um get to a place where it it got really bad. It looked like we was living in an abandoned building.
Wow. Wow.
Because the landlord that we had
Mm.
passed away, and her kids were on drugs, and they had control of it, but they weren't doing nothing. um
Mm.
so the neighbors finally had got together at one point to start paying like the common area bills and stuff.
Mm.
But then some people came in and eventually bought the property.
Mm.
And what they were doing was going around to each person and throwing them a little $2,000, $3,000, a $7,000, $8,000 here and there, just for them to move and to
Mm.
leave their apartment. Me and my mom, we were the longest living people there, so it took them
Mm.
a little bit longer to get us out.
Mm.
um so they got everybody around us out and broke out the windows and everything around us. Our apartment was the only apartment standing.
What?
And
Wow.
this is what we were living in for um a good 6 months.
Mm.
In order And then good thing, what we already had certain things moving on the apartment that we're living in now.
Right.
Okay.
But we had just got it started when
Mm.
all of that was going on. So that was for me the thing that get into the place in my mind where, okay, I gotta leave my childhood home.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
This is what I know. I was living there since I was 3 years old
Wow.
until I was 30, 38,
Oh
39,
wow.
somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot for us to give up, you
Yeah.
know. But I knew that we were going into something now that we now own.
Mm.
So
Wonderful.
that was
Mm.
the saving grace of it all. I
Yeah.
knew we were going into something that we owned so that we can now thrive more in this thing called life.
Mm.
Right. And see,
Mhm.
this question just came to me because it's not even on my paper.
No.
Can
Okay.
familiarity be a purpose blocker?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. And being comfortable.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just because you know something and you've been familiar with it the long, long time does not mean that that is good for you. are a
Exactly.
part of and align with your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And we knew for a while that
Mm-hmm.
we was gonna have to leave at some point. And that's part of the reason why I had started looking at other things too, just to get an idea of what we will have to do. And at that time, I didn't have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy was the only one working at that time, and I had just my late fiance had just transitioned maybe about a year before we had to leave from there.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So it was a bunch of things happening back to back to back to back, having eye surgeries, um,
Mm.
again losing jobs and losing him and dealing with how this housing issue and whatnot. But again, the saving grace of it all was knowing that we was transitioning into
Mm-hmm.
owning something, and we are the, I want to say, the only people in our family, like out of her siblings, she's the
Mm-hmm.
only one that has owned a piece of property.
Wow.
So
Wow.
for
Mm-hmm.
me, that was the joy of it all.
Right. And you got to
Yeah.
find the joy in all of the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
people misconstrue happiness versus joy.
Oh,
Right.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And finding the joy in something, for me, it's like 10 times more than finding happiness in something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because not every day is going to be happy. You're going to have sadness.
Yep.
I've
Oh,
been there where I was
exactly.
sad for a day, but I felt joy in that same day, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can be
Mm-hmm.
like sitting outside just sad, but I can still feel joyous.
Mm.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between happy and joy, right? Because joy is more that internal of life, like how, like your gratefulness,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
right? You can
Gratitude.
equate gratefulness and joy together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But happiness is just more so something that makes you happy in that moment, like
Moment.
something that's happening in that moment.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I
So,
love
that's
it. I
funny.
love
That's funny you say that, Kiki, because yesterday morning I was having a conversation with a guy at the community event I did, and we were talking about joy and him finding joy in the day. He's like, and he's a mental health counselor, and he
mm,
was saying that he'll have clients come in and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and they say I'm having a bad day, and he like, it's 10 o'clock in the
You
morning,
just
you
woke
ain't, the
up.
day ain't even completed.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and you don't claim your day is bad already. Like,
Yeah.
no, it's just a moment. You're
a
having a bad
moment in
moment.
time.
It's a bad hour. You don't know what it is going to be like by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Your day is, you got a whole 24 hours in a day. You mean to tell
Yep.
me your whole 24 hours is bad? It's going to be bad
Mm.
based off of this one moment? You're
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
projecting that. You're
Yep.
Exactly.
projecting it.
Yep.
You're looking
Yeah.
forward to your day being ruined just based off of one moment. And we can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We have to
No.
sit in the moment, let deal with the moment and move on, because it was just a
Right.
moment. It just happened.
Mm-hmm.
It does
Mm-hmm.
not mean your rest of the next 23 hours is not going to be bad. I promise you.
And
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think it
Exactly.
goes to a mindset. You have to have that attitude of gratitude
Yes.
that
Yes.
Right.
you have to get
Mm-hmm.
up every morning that you're blessed to see because somebody didn't make it
Absolutely.
Amen.
with the heart of saying, you know what, I might not be feeling my best right now, but I'm
But
gonna
I'm
do
here.
something to change it moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
So coach,
I say this, that your tongue is a wand. And I'm
Mm.
sure Coach Grynd could vouch for, I'm sure she can say, yeah, agree with me
Mm-hmm.
on this.
Yeah.
Like, your tongue is a wand. If you're
Mm.
going
Mm-hmm.
to constantly say, oh, it's going to be a bad day, you're going to have a bad day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yes, the law of
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
attraction. You
It's a
whatever you
Mm-hmm.
put out is what you're
exactly.
gonna get.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to watch your words on the
Mm-hmm.
things that
Yeah.
you are speaking over
Yeah.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Intentionality. Be
You're
intentional
Yes.
in
having
what
a
you
bad
speak.
moment. You're having a whatever, like whatever you want to call it. It's a moment. Like you
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
said, Coach Riz. It's a moment in
Yeah.
time. It
Yeah.
is not
Mm-hmm.
your whole entire day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
watch what you speak over yourselves, because baby, you
Hmm.
continue speaking it, is what you're going to continue getting.
Yes.
Yes, and the body hears your thoughts. So watch what you're thinking too. You know what I'm saying? So the body hears it, even though nobody out there, like Miss Joy was saying, she was hard on herself. I definitely super always kind of been hard on myself. The body hears that, and we be wondering why we tense, why my neck hurt. Well, dang it, you was just rough on yourself. You just got the shirt. It's okay, your belly hanging over. It's okay, your belly pumped out, or you can't get the buttons closed yet. It's okay. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? So
we
yeah,
working
our
on it. We
body,
working on it.
yeah, our body does hear the thoughts too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yes.
So,
So
Coach
true.
Brown, I want to ask you this question because we're moving on to things like mindsets, habits, distractions, and all the things, right? What's one habit you had to break that was silently blocking your purpose?
Making the wrong
My
food choices, making the wrong food choices, eating out of emotions, not dealing, with emotions and letting the ice cream slide down my throat to make me feel better for the moment. So once I start turning around my food, things like I'm a big girl still. I have a thyroid issue, insulin resistance issue, but I still put. If you saw my refrigerator, you would think my refrigerator looks like a skinny girl should have it because there's fresh vegetables, fruits. I make bowls, tuna bowls, and all this stuff. But once I start feeding myself and fueling my body, and because I just with the pain I was having, why I had to retire in the first place, the real chronic pain that was so excruciating I couldn't get out of bed. 5 years ago. And so once I start switching over and just researching and looking up low inflammation foods, I haven't taken a pain pill in 2 years now. My back, I'm just working on my walk. My walk is different than it used to be because of the sciatic issue and the spine issue between my fourth and fifth vertebrae. But the pain, this morning I said, I don't have the pain. And I just got real fearful. Like I said, God really brought me through this. It's like, it's almost crazy. It's almost hard to believe that I'm not just hurting, go to bed hurting, walking like I've been on a mechanical bull, so it's making me be so much better. So that relationship with that was holding me back from my purpose because I couldn't move. So making better choices in my health and the foods that I selected to fuel my body with.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Go ahead, Coach Ryan.
Oh yes. Repeat the question. I got so caught up in the emotional eating part because that was my
Right.
life.
What's one habit you had to break that
Oh,
was
yes.
silently
One habit I had to
blocking
break
your
was the
purpose?
self-sabotage. Like I used to go crazy on myself in here. Like the things that I used to say to myself was just so crazy. And on the outside, nobody else is talking to me like this. Nobody else even think that I talk to my own self like this. You know what I'm saying? But oh my gosh, it really makes you not move. It makes you really you don't act, you don't really walk in your purpose. That was the biggest thing I really had to change, the way I talked to myself. And I couldn't even cut my mind off. That was the reason I became a yogi. I was like, I'm just going to join yoga school. So if we got to stop thinking, and that ain't even meditation, you don't ever stop thinking, you just observe the thoughts, you know what I'm saying? So but that was my biggest thing, my thoughts. I really had to overcome that monster in there that's saying, girl, them people don't like you for real, girl. You're not that good, girl. Even though you just got an award in it, girl, honey, you're not that good. I really had to overcome that. That's what it was for me.
That is good, Grynd, because people don't realize them inner thoughts, they take over and they rule the world. They will rule your entire world, your entire being if you don't deal with them. That was real good. Joy is too, because I'm guilty of emotional eating. So listen, I concur with both of you ladies.
Yeah, I had some Andes last night and it was so good.
Eat stuff. I eat stuff. I just don't use it the same way I used to do. I still eat things. I eat chocolate. I have it, but it used to be a thing where I would get mad, or me and my ex-husband would get into it. I would go right to it was like, and I caught myself. I said, man, every time I get mad, I go get something to eat and be mindless. Look up and ate the whole half a gallon, stuff like that. So
that's that stress, that mindful
One thing that you
stress.
said, you had to be mindful.
Yes.
Yep.
So you caught it. Whenever you're mindful, you can tend to see what the pattern or the cycle is, and then it's easier to break it when you know what it is.
Yep.
All right, so
I
we're
used to
getting
put
into the. Go
I
ahead.
was
You
gonna
was
say I used to put a sticky note on my refrigerator to help myself. Like I go in there like, do you really want this? Or you and it's like it would just stop me because I really hated doing it in the morning doing that all
Yeah,
times a
it's
day.
a great idea.
That is a great
Yeah.
idea. That is a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful,
That
awesome idea.
is.
All right, so I'm gonna ask this question, and I want each person to answer with the first thought that comes to mind. One thing I had to release to walk in purpose was. I see you, butterfly. Go ahead. Go ahead. You go first.
Woo!
Coach
Child.
Kimmy. One thing I had to release to walk in purpose was just one thing. One answer, one thing.
I will say stopping myself from um just saying that I can't do it or I can't
Mm.
or it's
Okay.
too hard. Like I would say that.
Okay. Serena.
I would say overthinking.
Overthink.
I
Mm-hmm.
could really overthink something and
Mm-hmm.
think myself out of it. And I'm like, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, go back. Okay. Yes,
For
overthinking.
sure.
All right, Coach
Mm-hmm.
Riz.
My abandonment issues.
Mm.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
My
Good.
Mm-hmm.
abandonment issues and
Mm-hmm.
realizing that my abandonment issues stop me from moving forward. Because if I get to a certain place
Mm-hmm.
and I just drop it,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
and I
Mm.
I
learned
can see
last
that.
year, I
Mm-hmm.
learned last year that if I don't deal with my abandonment issues, I'm going to continue this cycle throughout the
Mm.
rest of my life.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
a lot of my father disappeared when I was 4 years old. So it's been over 40 years since since I've laid eyes on this man, since I've heard from this man or any of that sort. So and from then it's like every man that has been in my life has disappointed me some way or another. And so that along with the abandonment is like, oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
really
Yeah. Yeah.
really a thing that you have like I have to seriously like let it go, let it go,
Mm-hmm.
let it go.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good.
it's a constant battle. It's a constant struggle. It's a daily struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Because like your dad left, my dad was murdered when I was 5. And then to have my
Mm.
dad murdered when I was 5 and not have my dad, then my mom remarries and get into this relationship. And then
Yeah.
she
Mm-hmm.
chooses my stepdad over me, where I get put out of the house. So I didn't just, and you don't think that abandonment issue will stem from somebody passing away. You just think
Mm-hmm.
of it as
Mm-hmm.
somebody
Mm-hmm.
that's living that gets up and leave you.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I learned
Mm-hmm.
in therapy that even through that, you can see that
Yes.
as a form of abandonment.
Yep.
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 Absolutely.
Yep. Because
Mm-hmm.
I did with my fiance
Mm-hmm.
too. I at one point,
Mm-hmm.
though I knew it wasn't his fault in particular, um, I did think that he abandoned me too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Coach
So.
Grind.
Self-judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm.
deep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
deep. All
Yeah.
right, Coach
I
Joy.
still swing on her sometimes. Back up. Oh.
You
Back
got
up.
to. You got to.
Yeah.
You
All
gotta
right,
black
Coach
that
Joy.
blacker girl.
Did you answer the question, Coach? I don't think you did. No, the one thing you had to release to walk in your purpose was.
Who's that?
What, did everybody answer the question?
Serena.
I didn't, are you
No,
asking me?
I answer. I said overthinking.
Yeah, she said
It was
overthinking.
joy.
Coach Joy,
Okay.
did you
Joy.
answer that question?
No, I
Joy.
didn't. I
Yeah.
was waiting for Grind. I was thought she was still saying something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mine was perfectionism, and
Mm.
Mm.
Hmm.
that
Good one.
I don't
Hmm.
have to be perfect. I just need to just go for it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to
Yeah.
have all the components to what it's supposed to be.
Sure
Just
doesn't.
making it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to be perfect. God
Mm-hmm.
is perfect. And that's all. I had to
Absolutely.
learn that I don't have to be perfect. I'm being perfected through him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I had to
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I would say, not believing that I was good enough. I had to let that
Mm.
go.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
now look at me now.
Look at me
Hey.
there.
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
next thing, the first thing
Big
that come to
words.
mind, because we rolling up on this time has
Mm-hmm.
gotten away from us now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest lie I believed that blocked my purpose was, and we'll start with Coach Joy.
I would say the biggest lie that I believed is that life was over when you hit a certain, after you get out of your 30s and stuff, life was over, that you can't pivot. And now at 58, I've made a major pivot. And that was a lie that I used to believe that, you got to just kind of stay where you because your time passed already. And my time feel like it started. Like I just got a whole brand new time clock and it's just beginning. So that's what I had to know.
Yeah.
I like that. I agree.
Wow.
Oh, I
You
like
agree
that
that's your
one.
answer?
Yeah, because, y'all know, I don't got no kids. So, when you get to that age, I'm over 40. I'm about to be 46, no kids. And when you get to a certain age, they be like, well, you ain't had no kids yet. When you gonna have some kids? Well, you're like, if you do have, you gonna be, this and this is gonna happen and that's. I'm like, listen,
Don't get out my business. Yeah, okay.
okay, okay. But it's
Yes.
I would say, yeah, I had to deal with that part of it for a while. Like knowing what my purpose in this world is outside of being a mother.
There you go.
That's real. That's real. Yeah.
Okay,
Ooh.
Serena.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for
Mm-hmm.
me, and it's funny, I just saw a journal entry I wrote years ago. And for me, I didn't think I could do this while being chronically ill. I was
Mm.
like, when I'm in remission, when I'm symptom free, I'm going to open up my practice. I'm going to write my books. And everything focused on being physically 100% back to me. I would still be waiting. And so
Mm. That's good.
that was, and it still haunts me at times. Like, girl, you
Mm-hmm.
really trying to do that? You're not feeling your best. You're not doing. And I'm like, no, I'm doing this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's what it was, that journal entry. I cried. I was like, wow. And it was so many after that. Oh, when I'm this, when I'm that, I'm gonna, and all the things I've been able to check off,
Right.
even while still battling symptoms. So yeah.
I
Yes.
love that. All right,
That's
Coach
good.
Grind.
Yes. The thing that I would say, the thing that I believe that blocked my purpose was that I had to play by the rules.
Mm.
I was
Mm-hmm.
always
Mm.
a rule follower. I took pride in my straight A's and my honor roll and my virginity and my rules. Oh my God. And I was so depressed. I did not start living until I was like, man, F these rules, man, and just create my own. And
Yeah.
that's what I taught my daughter to do, girl. Make your own rules up, girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
right.
I
Yes.
love
That's
That's
what
that.
worked
right.
for me.
I love that.
I love
I can concur with that. Coach
Mm-hmm.
Riz, the biggest lie
Um,
I believe that blocked my purpose was,
oh, nobody was going to love me.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
And
Mm-hmm.
when you ask that question, it triggers something. I was dating somebody, and when it was time to break up, nobody's gonna want you, nobody's gonna love you, da 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 da, XYZ. Based off of some things, and I believed that for a long, long time that
Mm.
I wasn't worthy,
Mm. That
that I wasn't
Mm.
worthy.
that
Mm.
right there.
Mm. Mm.
And it wasn't just worthy to love, it's just worthy of anything, period.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
that's
Yes.
a lie.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good
Well,
one. Yeah.
I'm glad you let that go. Let that
Yes,
lie go.
Yes.
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 For
Mhm.
real.
Oh, yeah. That
All
was
right,
one
baby.
of the first um affirmations I had to start with, that I am enough and that I
Mm-hmm.
am worthy.
Mm.
That's one of the first, when I first got into knowing about affirmations and understanding affirmations and wanting something different for myself,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
was when I start that was the two first affirmations I started with, because I really didn't think I was worthy for anything else. If my father didn't want me,
That's it. The abandonment
and
issues.
yep, if my father didn't want me, and no other man is gonna want me, one, and two, um I'm not good for anything else.
Mm.
Man, see these daddies, man, because my daddy left us for a minute too. So I'm too dealing with the abandonment. I didn't know it was there until I
Mhm.
had like this fixed code experience where you have to think of the thing that's holding you back, and it comes to you, and then they work through you how to release that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when it happened, I was like, oh wow, that explains a
Mm-hmm.
lot. I did
Mhm.
not
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
know it was
it
there.
do.
I was
Mm-hmm.
holding on to that subconsciously and did
Yeah.
not even know it.
It
Mhm.
Wow.
do.
Yeah.
Me and my therapist, she had me make a list of all the people that I felt abandoned me, and we worked through that list.
Wow.
Ooh.
I
Mm.
love it.
I challenge anybody that's dealing with that to do that. Write that list. And you may
Mm-hmm.
not be able to work through it yourself. Find somebody that you trust
Mm-hmm.
or go get a therapist
Yeah.
and get it out of
Right.
there. Because
For
you
sure.
you self-sabotaging and you denying yourself the purpose that God has for your life by being stuck in that situation
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
or
Right.
that moment. Because
Yep.
moments pass. They are meant to pass. Some
Yeah.
are good, some are bad. We can't
Mm-hmm.
hold on to the bad ones because they keep us from experiencing and focusing on the good one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
All right,
Absolutely.
ladies, last question of
Mhm.
the night when it comes to purpose blockers. First thing that comes to mind. My life changed when I finally let go of.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Mm.
My life changed when I finally let go of who I thought I had to be.
Mm.
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 Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My
Mm.
life changed when I finally let go of people pleasing.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Mm.
My life changed when I finally let go of ugh, thinking that I'm not enough.
Mm.
Yeah, thinking I'm not enough.
Mhm.
Mm.
My life changed when when I finally let go of the fact that I could be unapologetically me, and I could give zero about what anybody else think.
Yep,
You either like it or you don't. I'm gonna always be a risker.
Mm.
that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Enjoy.
My life changed when I decided to pour the same love and time and patience into myself as I so easily poured into others.
Mm.
Mm.
Mhm.
Serena.
Right. My life changed when I let go of the naysayers and the disbelief that I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
That I had to wait. You got Lyme disease. What you doing? You still not fit. Had to let it go. And my life has changed drastically ever since.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
has been amazing, ladies. Thank y'all so much for being on Coach's
Oh,
Corner and
thank
being on
Thank
you.
part two
you.
of
Part
Purpose
two
Blockers.
of Purpose
Yes.
I
Blockers.
tried to go deeper because somebody that's watching needed this episode to
Yes.
happen,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
know.
Mhm.
And that is the whole purpose of the podcast me and Coach Kimmy has is
Mm-hmm.
to make people realize that you're not alone when you think you are.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through certain things. You're not alone, but you have to change your mindset and the way that you perceive certain things in order to get unstuck and move
Mm-hmm.
forward. Sometimes you have to forgive yourself. Sometimes you have to forgive other people. Sometimes you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
to let them go because they don't
Mm-hmm.
mean
Mm.
you no good.
Right.
Mhm.
Got
Places
that
that used
right.
to serve you,
Don't disturb
sometimes you
you.
just outgrow them. Sometimes they just not for you anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
that's nothing to do with you. Like them people still go and do what they want to do. It's just not who you are anymore because God has called you to greater. When they
Yep.
Mhm.
finally listen to him whisper in their ear that they're greater and they deserve greater, they'll
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
stop going to that place too. They'll
Yep.
stop associating with those people too. I used to
Mhm.
take offense when people supported other people and not me, but I was always
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
people's biggest
Mm-hmm.
supporter. It
Yes.
Right.
was not until I had to realize, you know what? Some people just not gonna support you because it's you. You're doing what they want to do, but
Yeah.
they not doing it because that's not a part of their purpose.
Right.
Right.
And now
Yep.
I just don't care. Like Coach Joy said, I don't care at all.
You're at all.
Mm-hmm.
If
And
God gave me a vision,
accepting
mhm,
the fact that everybody is not going to be continue on your journey.
yeah,
Right. Yes.
Everybody is not meant to go the distance with you.
right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a time in a season. There's seasonal people. There's lifetime people.
Yeah.
And you just have to realize that when that time is up, it's okay to let it go and be happy about it. Be
Right.
joyous
There
Mm-hmm.
you go.
about it. Be joyous
Right.
about it that I had this time with you. I got to spend
Yep.
this. I learned this.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the
Yep.
lesson was in
Mm-hmm.
that, it's okay. It's fine. And I wish you well.
Yeah.
No hard
Right.
feeling, no
Yep.
harsh feelings, any of that. I
Exactly.
That's
wish you
it.
well.
That's
And
it.
I
Mm-hmm.
gotta love you from a distance. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And sometimes too, um, you sometimes your life is on two parallel roads, right? And
Mm.
sometimes one is gonna veer off to the left or to the right. And y'all may not be parallel at that point, or y'all may not be as close as y'all think y'all were at that point. But y'all
Yeah.
may come back
Yeah.
being right next to each other. Sometimes everybody got to go off and do their own thing, and it's
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
But we got to understand that for ourselves. And if we're not doing what we need to do for ourselves, that's the time we need to take to see where our purpose is and see what we need to do for ourselves so that we can now grow in this thing called life and let everybody do their own thing. You guys
Mm-hmm.
might come back together. You never know. Life has a funny way of spinning the block. As
Mm-hmm.
they say, life has a way of spinning the block. And sometimes that you're going to have to veer off in order to spin the block.
Mm.
I don't like spinning blocks, but
Mm.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And sometimes spinning the blocks is a good thing because there's a lesson in
Sometimes,
that.
yeah,
There is a
Yep.
lesson in that, and
it
Yep.
I got a
is.
story. I got a good story about that for another day because you don't realize that when you spin that block, there is something that you need in that
Missed or
moment.
need. Mm-hmm.
There's something that needs to come out of you. There's a lesson in a realization and some things you learn about yourself that you never knew before when you spin that block. And it don't mean that that block is permanent. It could
Mm-hmm.
still just be
Absolutely.
a temporary spin.
Spin. That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
I get it. So I'm
So
gonna ask you guys this last question. I promise it's the last one. And it's just the first thing that comes to mind when I say the word purpose, what does purpose mean to you?
mm.
All right,
Freedom.
so
Oh.
all right, Coach
Go
Brian
ahead.
said freedom.
Freedom. Okay.
I love that.
Go ahead, Risk.
God given assignment.
Mm.
Mm.
So like that.
Destiny.
Mm-hmm. Joy.
I would say saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that.
purpose.
I
Saying
like that.
yes.
I will say, hmm, purpose. Hmm. I'm trying to figure out one word.
Yeah, one word, Tammy.
I
My
know,
word
right?
is intention. Purpose is intention for me.
Yes.
Mm.
Mhm.
Peaceful.
One word.
Peaceful.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Hey.
Peaceful.
All right, ladies. Well, this has been another episode of Coach's Corner with Coach Kiki and Coach Kimmy B. We have been joined with Coach Joy, Coach Serena, Coach Grant, and Coach Ariska today. This has been an amazing episode. We will be back with
Yes.
our Hope series, and you might see some of these faces come back again
Mm-hmm.
because this
Yes.
this panel right here is fierce. So we might bring y'all
Yeah.
back for the
Yeah,
Hey.
we
Hope
going
series.
we going to spin the block back
Yeah.
on
Okay.
this
And we're
one.
gonna spend
Yeah.
it on
Yeah.
because the block is hot. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh
Yes,
So
God.
thank you
ma'am.
guys for tuning in again. Until next time, make sure that you are walking in purpose unapologetically you. Don't let those purpose blockers get in your way. Forget about those people, places, and things and do you your own way. Okay?
That's right. Stay in your
Later.
Yes.
lane.
Bye.
Peace.
Yes.